What's up guys, it's Talon. Today I'm going to be talking about how to engage and kind of play a frontline type of playstyle in Wild Rift. And so we're just going to start off with this first clip right here. The first kind of thing I want to talk about is making sure you make engages around who on your team is strong and you're aware of target priority and who your teammates want to target. So you're going to see, for example, in this game, I'm going on to the Gwen here because obviously Darius, if he gets a reset, is going to get a lot of value. And so you see I'm playing my hook here. I was trying to play her, though I missed it. And then I'm just making engages in CC based on who he's going to be able to kill and getting them low enough so that he's able to kill them all. Basically, whoever the Darius is targeting, often I'm targeting the same person or I'm getting someone low enough for his reset. So playing around kind of where your carries and how your carries want to target in fights, making sure that it's easy for your carries to get onto those people, especially a champion like Darius. Once they get onto one person, get a reset, you keep CCing a certain person and then it just ends up being very easy. So again, just paying attention to your carries, who they kind of want to be fighting, make sure that you're CCing and setting up plays for them like that. Okay guys, so a lot of engaged champions have a kind of skill shot that you need to land, and a good way to land this is to not make it obvious what you're going for. So you saw I'm walking in a different direction there. I'm not just walking straight at the Sona and then she doesn't expect it and then I just throw my hook there and just try to land it on her, and obviously I landed on her because she's not expecting it because my movement is not going in the same way that I end up using my CC or my skill shot. So champions like Leona, Thresh, Nautilus, with these kind of skill shot engages, you want to try to make it not super obvious who you're targeting by using your movement to kind of, you know, psych people out and trick them and stuff like that. And then additionally here, not being afraid to die in order to get CC and get your team, you know, make plays for your team. I'm always totally willing to trade my life as an engaged champion, especially in the support role. I'm, you know, more than willing to die in order to get someone dead or to get my teammates resets or things like that. Okay guys, so something that's really important to understand, especially when you're in the lead and you're on an engaged champion and you know that you can kind of buy a lot of time, is understanding how much time you can buy as a champion. So you're going to see here, for example, especially when you have Gargoyle. I don't have Gargoyle yet, but Gargoyle is really, really good for this as well. I'm popping my, you know, ultimate already, and I'm looking to go in early despite my team not really being in a great spot to follow up, because I know I can stall here for a while and then my team will be able to come later on, and you're going to see then we're going to end up getting a double kill because of that stalling. So not being afraid sometimes to go in early if you know that you're going to be able to stall because you're in a big lead and your team is on their way and everything, is something that you can definitely do. And again, zoning people off here, for example, I'm zoning 2 people off and I do end up dying. I could have definitely gotten out earlier. But even then, you know, we still are in a good spot. We buy a lot of time. We zone for our teammates so that we can go and get the objective. We're just basically using our health as a resource to make sure that we buy as much time as possible rather than being scared and always having to wait for our team to go in. Now, this again does more just work when you're ahead because you can buy time and your team's going to be able to clean up. Now, if you were behind or even in the game, you're going to have to be a bit more aware of your teammates' positioning and obviously wait for them to kind of come by. Okay, so something else to note about playing an engaged champion is understanding target priority. Now, targeting the carry or the damage is often going to be the most effective. So in this scenario, you're going to see Yone, Amumu, and Braum all really close to each other. And of those 3 champions, I'm going to choose to target Yone. Not only is he the squishiest and easiest to kill, but he's also the most valuable in terms of how much damage he can deal. And so targeting the damage dealers and usually the ones who are going to be easier to kill, rather than targeting the tanks right away, is generally going to be what you're going to want to do as the frontline engaged champion. Now, it's all going to depend on the scenario. Of course, sometimes you are going to need to just be hitting the tank because no one else is really able to be hit. But in a scenario where, again, you have options on who you can target, you're of course going to want to go on the one dealing the most damage and the one who's easiest to kill. Okay, so then this clip has a couple things that I want to talk about. The first is engaging when your teammates are in a good position to follow up. So for example, here in the earlier parts of the game, I can make more aggressive plays when I know my jungler is coming nearby. So I made this aggressive play because my jungler is coming nearby. And then the other thing is using your CC to cancel abilities. So here, Vi is going to channel her dash, and you're going to watch me use my third ability to cancel her dash. And then I'm going to know that she's going to obviously go forward in that way, and I'm going to use my other form of CC to then block her from going on my teammates. So the first thing, again, trading based on, you know, if your teammates are actually nearby, especially early game, trading around where your jungler is. And then 2, using your CC to cancel key spells such as the Vi first ability. Okay, so this next situation, I play very, very, very poorly in terms of like my spells. I miss a lot of spells and I don't really play it very well. But my positioning in this fight is good, and that's really what I want to speak about in this like overall sequence. And that's just understanding that as a tank, you can use your body to give your team vision. So we didn't really have vision on the objective, and my team wasn't really in a position to walk forward. And so I'm just going to kind of sit there hovering, making it so my team has easier space to walk up. It's going to lead to us getting a steal. Now we're going to lose that fight. Wasn't a great fight, I didn't hit my spells like I said, but the positioning, making it easy for my team to walk forward, making sure I'm the one going forward first, I'm kind of leading my team into the objective, I'm zoning the enemy off, I'm making it hard for them to play. These types of things are extremely important when you're playing on a front line. So even here, again, I'm going to walk up, I'm going to be the one going forward first. I'm going to be zoning them off the objective. I'm always positioning in a way where it's hard for the enemy to walk up and actually go on my team. I'm essentially just, you know, putting my body in between my carries and the enemy, and it's a very straightforward thing. It's not complicated at all, but again, using your, you know, health as a resource. Again, you see I'm half health here. I'm just constantly zoning people. I'm making sure that it's really hard for the enemy to walk in. I'm splitting them up. The Ari is split up from the rest of them. The Janna and the Jhin are over there. They're having a hard time being able to walk forward because I'm just always positioning myself in a way where it's not very easy for them to walk forward or to go on my teammates, stuff like this. Okay guys, so in this next clip, I want to highlight the importance of trying to bait out enemy spells in team fights. So in this scenario, they're obviously going on the Baron, they're in the better spot, but I think I have time to stall. You're going to see I'm going to get Camille by pressuring her. She has to use her third ability. Now I go on Xayah, which makes a good play for my teammate to engage, which now makes Lulu have to ult. Now I'm going on the Vi, which is going to make her have to usually go in, maybe use Gargoyle, maybe use other defensive spells. Basically, you don't have to instantly engage as soon as the fight starts. You can often poke people, not even poke, but, you know, go for short engages where, you know, you just land a hook on them, you maybe Alistar engage and then run out, whatever type of engage it is, and then you just try to get 1 or 2 spells out, you know, you try to get a dash out, get an ultimate out, and then you go all in after these things are gone, you know, because this is going to be a lot more effective when they don't have flash, when they don't have their spells, rather than just making the engage when they have everything to peel. Okay guys, so this next clip, I'm not going to talk about my engage as much as I'm going to critique the enemy's engage. So it's really important to understand kind of your strengths and weaknesses in the game, and in this game, their Renekton is extremely fed, and the rest of their team is not doing so well. And their Renekton got caught and died, and yet they're still going to go in right before the objective. So the objective just spawns, so they know that we're definitely going to come there. But they're still going to go on our teammate because they think they can get a pick. But the problem with engaging like that is even if they get that initial pick, they're going to have to use so many spells for it. And then again, they're trading and fighting when they don't have their strong member of their team. And now the entire team dies, even though with such a strong Renekton, they probably should have been able to at least do decently in the fight. Now the Renekton has to come here by himself, which is another thing when you're on objectives, making sure that you zone the objectives like I do here by going over the wall oftentimes so that it's harder for the enemy to steal, by just being able to basically stall, get vision of the enemy zone like that, so then even the enemy cannot go in to the objective just like they couldn't here. And then this final tip, guys, is going to be the importance of getting to objectives first and using vision to get picks. So for example here, I'm going to make a play around the bush because bush is obviously, you know, they can't see me in the bush, and then I'm able to make better plays in engage. So I just use this bush to kind of, you know, they don't really know exactly where I am. Even if they know I'm roughly in this area, they don't know exactly where. And then I go into the bush, I get an early engage on them. It makes them now have to start backing off. They've already used their wind wall, and then they have to go on me after I'm already, again, I've used my spells on them. I've made the engage through the bush, which just makes it a lot easier to land the engage. They have to come into us to fight. We're able to chase them down. Basically using vision so that it's easier to surprise your enemy and get quick engages on them, rather than just going straight on them in the mid lane and showing yourself in the mid lane is going to be much more effective. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. That's going to be about it. As always, I do coaching for $15 an hour. Just DM me on Discord through the link in the description if you're interested in that. Apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was valuable for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.